The three most dangerous words in recovery are, I got this. As soon as you think you got this, you're in trouble. That's your ego talking. Welcome to day 16 of A Proverb a Day Keeps the Police Away. My name is Robert, and I'm a peer recovery coach who sees the lighter side of life. Today, we're going to hit the most famous warning in the entire book here. We're going to find out why your plans never work out the way you think, why pride is actually a prophecy of destruction, and why the guy who can control his temper is tougher than the guy who can win a fight. Let's get right into it. We're reading verses 1 through 15 here to start out with. Pay attention to verse 9. It's going to explain why you're sitting where you're sitting right now. All right, let's jump in here. Mortals make elaborate plans, but God has the last word. Humans are satisfied with whatever looks good. God probes for what is good. Put God in charge of your work. Then what you've planned will take place. God made everything with a place and purpose. Even the wicked are included, but for judgment. God can't stomach arrogance or pretense. Believe me, He'll put those braggarts in their place. Guilt is banished through love and truth. Fear of God deflects evil. When God approves of your life, even your enemies will end up shaking your hand. Far better to be right and poor than to be wrong and rich. We plan the way we want to live, but only God makes us able to live it. A good leader motivates, doesn't mislead, doesn't exploit. God cares about honesty in the workplace. Your business is His business. Good leaders abhor wrongdoing of all kinds. Sound leadership has a moral foundation. Good leaders cultivate honest speech. They love advisors who tell them the truth. An intemperate leader wreaks havoc in lives. You're smart to stay clear of somebody like that. Good-tempered leaders invigorate lives. They're like spring rain and sunshine. All right, here we go. Let's jump in. Verse 9 here says, in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. We love to plan, don't we? In addiction, I had 1,000 plans. I planned to manage my using. I planned to get the money back. I planned to talk my way out of the arrest. But God establishes the steps. This is a reality check on control. You're not the general manager of the universe. You can make all the plans you want, but if your steps aren't aligned with God, you're going to be walking off a cliff. Surrender the plan. Stop trying to drive the bus. Move over to the passenger seat and let God establish those steps. Okay, next up we got verses 16 through 24, and here it is, the heavy hitter of this whole chapter. Verse 18 is the verse that defines this episode. Here we go. Let's jump back in. Get wisdom. It's more than money. Choose insight over income every time. The road of right living bypasses evil. Watch your step and save your life. First pride, then the crash. The bigger the ego, the harder the fall. It's better to live humbly among the poor than to live it up among the rich and famous. It pays to take life seriously. Things work out when you trust in God. A wise person gets known for insight. Gracious words add to one's reputation. True intelligence is a spring of fresh water, while fools sweat it out the hard way. They make a lot of sense, these wise folks. Whenever they speak, their reputation increases. Gracious speech is like clover honey, good taste to the soul, quick energy for the body. All right, let's jump back over to verse 18. First pride, then the crash. The bigger the ego, the harder the fall. Notice the order of things here. Destruction just doesn't show up out of nowhere. Pride is the usher that opens the door for it. Every time I ended up in handcuffs, looking back on it now, pride was there first. I thought I was untouchable. I thought I was smarter than the cops, smarter than my family, smarter than the disease of addiction. And that's the ego trap. If you're feeling arrogant today, if you're feeling like, I don't need meetings, or I don't need advice, and I don't need God, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because the text guarantees that the fall is coming next. Don't wait for the crash to humble you. Humble yourself. All right, let's bring it home with verses 25 through 33 here. We're going to end with a definition of what it actually means to be a strong man or woman. So let's jump back in here. There's a way that looks harmless enough. Look again. It leads straight to hell. Appetite is an incentive to work. Hunger makes you work all the harder. Mean people spread mean gossip. Their words smart and burn. Troublemakers start fights. Gossips break up friendships. Calloused climbers betray their very own friends. They'd stab their own grandmothers in the back. A shifty eye betrays an evil intention. A clenched jaw signals trouble ahead. Gray hair is a mark of distinction, the award for a God-loyal life. Moderation is better than muscle, self-control better than political power. Make your motions and cast your votes, but God has the final say. Look back at verse 32 here. One version says, better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. In the streets, we thought the warrior was the tough guy, the guy who could take the city and win the fight, dominate the room. But God says no. The tough guy is the one who has self-control. It's easy to blow up. It's easy to swing on somebody. But it's hard to keep your mouth shut when you're disrespected. I know it is for me. It's hard to walk away from something. If you want to be a warrior today, conquer your own spirit. That's a bigger victory than taking any city out there. So the takeaways from Proverbs 16 to keep the police out of your life today are this. Number 1, surrender the wheel. You can plan your course, but God directs the steps. Stop fighting him. Number 2, kill the ego. Pride isn't confidence. It's a warning sign that destruction is next. And number 3, conquer yourself. Real strength isn't fighting others. It's controlling yourself. Be patient. And if you're done with the ego trap and you're ready to build something real, help us out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out tomorrow. Drop a comment with your thoughts on verse 18 and share this with somebody who needs to hear it today. And as always, friends, stay sober, not boring.